think I just now went live. Can you guys see me now? Like, did it just start? I think it just started. No, it says it's been recording for 4 minutes. I don't know. For whatever reason, there's this like one weird skip step that I keep missing. Okay, we got a couple people in the chats. All right, so did it just start like 2 minutes ago? Well, that's lame. How we all doing, guys? So, there's a good chance that there was like 2 minutes, 3 minutes of live stream that didn't actually go live. So, that's my life. Alright, well, it is what it is. How are y'all doing? Alright. Alright, so let's... How's the volume sound? That volume's always a little bit loud. All right, we got 3 minutes. There's this so when I set it up in advance, it wants when I come back into it, I'm not good at hitting. So what are we doing, guys? It's number 23. How exciting is that? Alright, well, anyway. So, let me see. What is going on? Hold on. Alright, so that one is a slightly better volume, I think. I don't know. Slightly better. I don't know. Now I get to play with what it is I'm not doing my 3 a.m. live streams anymore, so I don't know. There's no excuse. There's a stupid button I keep missing because it makes me set it up, and then when I come in play it, it'll start recording, but it doesn't record live yet, so I have to hit it twice, which is like super like I don't understand it, but who knows? But we're only a couple minutes behind. Not that bad. Sorry if I worried anybody. Yeah, it's just what I do now. Like, because it says it's been recording for like 9 minutes, but I only think it's been recording for 6. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I was doing good with this thing. I don't know. I don't like it. How are y'all doing? Say hi in the chats. We got the show starting here in a second. I'll see you guys in a minute. Hello and welcome to Whimsy Live Mind Pockets number 23. Sorry for the semi-late start. I don't know. I don't know. Like, my camera's all off. Like, I'm all over the place here, guys. Two hands. Scoot it in. How are y'all doing? So, welcome. Not a lot going on today that I think I need to like pre-show. The week was, for the most part, a pretty interesting week. Work hasn't gotten any better. Um, I think I have a mind pocket ish. I don't know. It was a weird week. Fantastic week. I like for the most part, I enjoyed most of this week. I had a fantastic Monday. You guys listened to a fantastic episode on Wednesday. Um, Andy, Kelly, you left some awesome feedback. Everybody else, please, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, leave comments. Let Greg, Alan, Martin know how much that you guys liked him because he was a fantastic guest. Um, I hope you guys have all listened to it. If not, after this, go and listen to it because it was probably one of my favorite episodes. Um, I think of solo episodes in my top three. I would say Bowling Alley with The Rock was a good episode for me. Um, maybe one more. So I reserve another one, but Greg Allen Martin was a fantastic interview. Such a nice guy. I really hope that you guys have listened to it. If not, go back and listen to it after the show. It was a great episode 68. Um, but work isn't getting any better. It's still super busy. Um, both places. So we got new systems coming in one place. We got I'm trying to think I don't know how to describe it. I'm doing slightly different type of work to kind of help out with business needs and everything else. Um, I'm finding that because of how busy it is on both places, um, I'm not as my brain isn't as creative throughout the week. Um, like I didn't like not enough. Like it's been weird. Like it's not bad, just slightly weird, and that's why like today's show is a little bit late. The socials the two Whimsy with the Z's technically came out late on YouTube. They like hours like the whole thing was kind of a mess. The descriptions weren't written until God knows when. Um, but I don't know. It was great. Good week. Busy. I'm still adjusting to it, I guess. But let's go ahead and get into the mind pockets here, guys. Let's turn up some of this. Yeah, should be a good show for a day for you guys. All right, I wrote this down for when did I come up with it? Monday. It's not really a mind pocket, but uh, alleged phone cheating. Like when you're at work, like what do you do to sneak your phone? Like how do you watch like TV or text or make a phone call? I guess it's kind of a mind pocket. I don't know. All right, yeah. Hit the chats. Let me know how you guys do it. I was recording. I was super excited about like because I was working so much. Like, and my TV's been kind of a little bit all over the place. So there was a thought. I was really excited Monday for whatever reason, and was like, "Yeah, that should be in my pocket." And I don't know if it really should have been in my pocket. It kind of fits. Um, I think it just sounds slightly different. I don't know. But yeah, with everything happening, I'm not watching as much TV on the extra phone. How do you guys do your phone cheats? So you're at work. You don't have to tell me where you're working, but retail. Are you standing? Are you ringing people up? Where's your phone? Do you have AirPods in? Do you use the AirPods with the stems or no stems, like some Raycons or some Beats, so you can listen to like something or watch something? That's what I do. Is I keep typically a phone in my bag or like in the desk, and then I'll just audio hear it. When I play YouTube, um, what I do on YouTube is it sucks because I will I'll play the video in the desk, right? And then I'll sync it up with the computer. But what happens sometimes is they don't have the same ads, like the spots for ads. So then I have to like I'm watching something that's like 30 seconds slightly behind. It's really weird sometimes. But how you guys one, do you guys even cheat and try to sneak your phone? I know years ago it was kind of a big thing. Like even in school, we were like, you can't text. And now like, kids have phones everywhere. Um, Technically, most places were like, you can't have your phone out, but I think we all do. So how do you guys do it? Hit the chats. And I don't know. Um, oh, well, that text never went through. Good Lord. Um, trying to figure out what time I'm picking up Liam in the morning. I don't know. But yeah, just an idea. What do you guys do for the cheats? I'm getting ready to do the interview with Greg Allen Martin. It is technically going to be episode 68. Mom was like, maybe wait until like next Monday to drop it. But I don't know. Like that interview, like, does it need to be regular chasing the whimsy with a number, or is it more of like a CTW presents? Like these, if I get more of these interviews, do I time into the show proper, or do we kind of keep them as like a side episode? I don't know. So this is an interest. I thought about this almost all week. Um, Chasing the whimsy me, Megan, me, Liam, me, solo, me, guest, right? Like guests that we know typically falls under the umbrella of chasing the whimsy, right? And those typically will have a number. The Greg Allen Martin interview I've talked about for a couple of weeks was uh, publicist heard the podcast, recommended him. We set it up, we recorded. If I keep doing interviews by a publicist, if I reach out to like pseudo celebrities or whoever, do those go under chasing the whimsy or are they CTW presents? Really, the only difference it really makes is the number count, right? Uh, so Greg Allen Martin was number 68. And if we went CTW Presents, it wouldn't have a number, and then we'd still be at 67. So um, I don't know what to do with these episodes. Now, obviously, if you listen to the episode, um, it was fascinating. I kept it within the theme of chasing the whimsy, right? Him growing up, his relationship with his parents, juggling football and school, juggling acting and the DA's office for 30 years, reinventing himself. So, like, in those aspects, I'm going to take any extra interviews and try to gear them towards that overall theme, right, for chasing the whimsy. I just don't know if it's numbered, right? So my mom was like, you can take a little bit of a not necessarily a break, but like if I had this extra episode that came out on a Wednesday, like Wednesday is a completely arbitrary day. Like I could have held it off until Monday. But then if it's like if I held it off to Monday, it would definitely have to be numbered, I guess. Um, I don't know. Part of me likes it because I like the number count, but even then, that doesn't even matter because I have Wednesday with the Z that doesn't count towards the CTW number. Um, the U off, the family tree one, those don't count against or count towards the CTW count. The live streams don't. Um, I don't know. I don't know if it like I don't want to go as far as saying like let's make a new podcast. Like I don't think it needs that. Like I don't have that many interviews lined up. So a very long you know question is the next Greg Allen Martin. Is it numbered or is it CTW presents? Um, I'm going to go ahead and just hang for a second, let you guys update the chats. Let me know what you think because uh, there's a couple of mind pockets that this answer will affect. Um, so hit the chats real quick. Random guest interviews, numbered or CTW presents? Discuss. Maybe not. Um, let me know in the like mom, you'll hear this. I think mom's working until later. Um, like hold on. Are the chats even working? Hold on, chat. Hello. Hello. Like I want to be surprised if I jack that up too. Nope, they work. Okay. Um, we got a little bit of time. There's another mind pockets coming up. Think about it. Throw your answer in the chats or in the comments if you're listening to this afterwards. Um, because there's some fun stuff. There's some really interesting things happening moving forward. And I just want to make sure we're maintaining a consistency moving forward. Numbered CTW presents. All right, it's like 7:30. I've been podcasting since noon. Fun day though. For the most part, I think by this time you guys should have already have heard the two Whimsy Z's. So those were fun. It was interesting. Um, but yeah, 7 hours of podcasting, and then now I still gotta like edit everything. So it's like a weird like 10, 11 hour day for me. But I'm loving it. I'm having a good time. Thank you, Nikki, for your answer. Totally just fucking spaced the fact that I didn't send out a single text to anybody. So I appreciate everybody who showed up based off of the consistency of Saturday or the notification you get on YouTube. I liked it. Nikki, did you listen to the Greg Allen Martin episode 68? It was fantastic. It was so good. I think. So yeah, that was Monday. We did the live stream Monday. I got off that, recorded with Greg Allen Martin. He says I can just call him Greg, but he has his name as like all three names. So I feel like um, I guess I can just call him Greg. I did ask, but so live stream Greg, and then Danielle, Dean, and Pinky. Like like we just like one right after the other. I just had people like it was amazing. It was so fun for me. It reminds me of like last month when I did all those. We had the grandma episodes. We had the four um, Whimsy Z's, Liam's. Your chat seems way delayed. How much is way delayed? Hold on, let's look. I don't know how to show it now. Is it like, there's no way for, is there a way? I don't know how to tell you guys. All right, so, um, all right, start counting. Wait, hold on, start. Oh, oh, oh. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Man, I'm like all over the place today. 30. Um, I don't know. I don't know how to fix the delay now. It looked good earlier. It looked like the original 5 second. Are we more than 5 seconds? I don't know. Monday was a fantastic day for me. I absolutely loved Monday. I had so much fun. Uh, I enjoy podcasting. Like I just enjoy talking to people. Um, and Monday was just a lot of just good fun for me. The editing stuff um, was uh, a little much, but not that bad because like if we pay attention over the last year, I conduct most of the episodes in a way that doesn't need a lot of editing. Mark obviously had some editing. I had to put in the beeps. Dean had one beep I had to go back and find and put him in. So like the editing stuff isn't that bad. Like I spend more time trying to figure out what the descriptions are. But I very much enjoyed Monday. Monday was a fantastic day for me. It was the start of my week. So good. I loved it. 10, 11 hour day for me. But I'm loving it. I'm having a good time. The interview with Greg Allen Martin, I think, went really well. So I emailed Steven and I realized like they're called, it's a publicist, is what the name of the thing I was trying to remember anyway. But anyway, emailed them, said thank you, and said, hey, do you have anybody else? Let me know. And I might have somebody else coming. 8:21. I'm 8:21 now. Like I guess I could do like hold on. So if I think the chat, you guys see the chat's faster. I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. It should only be like maybe 10 seconds. It looked like it was 5 earlier. Um, I guess I can hold on. All right, let's get the phone. All right, so I'm going to. So I'm going to. Yeah, it's not that bad. My phone isn't lagging that bad. I'm at a 5 second lag on my phone. Maybe scoot it forward. Maybe you're technically listening. I don't know. Um, the interview was fantastic. I had more people talk to me like before I woke up that said the episode was really good. A lot of people like a lot of good feedback. Normally I see some chats throughout the week or the comments, but I went to sleep, woke up Wednesday afternoon like 11ish. Boom, like notes, comments, like it was a good episode. I kept calling Steve the talent agent. For whatever reason, I can't say that word, talent agent. Publicist. So Greg's publicist, Steve, I reached out and said, "Hey, thanks for the interview." I sent him an email Monday night, and he's like, and I was like, "Hey, if you have anybody else, let me know." And he's like, "I might have somebody for you." So that's interesting. So now I kind of got like this, like LA publicist who kind of like works with other, like a couple of other publicists, right? They all kind of like work together. So now I kind of have like this weird outlet of where I can reach out and get random different guests coming in. Um, I won't say too much more because I think I have another mind pocket with
The
it.
Greg Allen Martin episode was a huge success. Um, Not a lot of times do I get a lot of like quick feedback in the comments. Um, but yeah, I woke up to comments saying that the episode was really good. So here, love to hear what you guys think. Update it into the any of the comments on the podcast or the YouTube. Let me know what you guys think because I had a blast with that interview. I think it was really good. I think I did really good with it. So let me know what you guys think.
So here's where this whole format falls apart. I record these things in like throughout the week. I talk about number 4, and then I mention a bunch of shit from 5. So now when you hear 5, I've already answered number 5. Um, it doesn't happen that often, but like I do know that there is another mind pocket coming up of who this next guest will be. So I'll talk about that person in a minute. But man, that kind of it is what it is. It doesn't happen that often, but it does sound really weird uh, to comment on Mind Pocket 4 and then it literally be the exact same thing I said for Mind Pocket 5. Um, Great episode. I hope all you guys listen to it. Greg Allen Martin is such a nice guy. Um, Super interesting story. So go back, listen to it, leave some comments. And I'm going to try on Monday to, I'm going to start posting. So we have the Patreon page, right? I think I'm going to try and do the page right before it and start listing the comments again. Because I did it for a minute, right? The We Are Whimsy page. So I'm going to start adding those because there's a bunch of really cool comments that you guys left. So, and especially with all the Whimsy with the Z's, it was a busy week this week. 4 episodes? Yeah, we had 4 episodes this week. Monday, Wednesday, and then the two Z's. So, all right.
Go check out Whimsy with a Z, the podcast from Chasing the Whimsy. Whimsy with a Z is a brand new podcast where they meet and hang out with 6 teenagers each month to get to know what it's like to be a Generation Z in today's day and age. They'll discuss summer, first days of school, and maybe dive into the struggles that most teens face, but maybe not talk about. Join along as they break down the generation gap and better understand what it's like to be Generation Z. That's Whimsy with a Z. Chasing Whimsy, talking to Generation Z. A few new episodes up for you to listen to already, and make sure you subscribe to be notified of future releases. Whimsy with a Z is a podcast for teens by teens, but parents are welcome and encouraged to also listen. You can stream it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and at the website chasingthewhimsy.com. That's Whimsy with a Z, the podcast. Go stream, download, and subscribe today. You can also connect and follow on Twitter, Chase the Whimsy, and on Instagram and YouTube at Chasing the Whimsy.
Whimsy with the Z. Holla. Great episodes this week. Dean's opening up. He's getting a little bit more comfortable with with the whole thing. Uh, Still getting a couple of um, answers that I think he's answering to what I want to hear. Um, but I did press him. I'm more comfortable too. So we're getting to a point where um, I think we're all just getting really comfortable, relaxed. We did do something also different with Whimsy with the Z for Danielle. Um, we let Pinky conduct that conversation. It was interesting. It was fun, brief, spur of the moment. But the best part about it was, right, is I had Danielle on the phone, right, on the screen, and was like, "Hey, would you prefer to talk to Pinky?" And like Danielle's face is like lit up and was like, "Yes," like no hesitation. She was like, "Absolutely." And if you listen to the episode, they kind of like nerd out for a minute, so it was really kind of fun to see Danielle, um, you know, relax to that point. A lot of feedback on the Whimsy with the Z's is that we want to see the kids interacting more with each other. So we're going to try and get them all talking to each other, and then maybe try to get one big, large group with all 7 of us, the 6 kids and me. So I'm going to work on trying to figure out how to do that. It should be fun, be interesting. Um, but when would I put that one out? That extra week that we don't normally that bye week that we have, the last week of the month. I guess we could put that episode in it, right? Because then that we can get all the individuals, and then we get the one group chat. It will be interesting. I'm thinking start with something a little bit fun right around the holidays because we got those semi coming up. Tell some holiday stories, and then after first of the year, uh, dive into something a little heavier, a little deeper. So it should be interesting. Whimsy with the Z was a fantastic episode this week. Dean was great. Danielle was fantastic. And thank you to Pinky for conducting that interview.
So I find myself holding back a little bit, nothing crazy. Uh, the idea is to be like open, I guess, with all these podcasts and the live streams. But there are moments that I hold back. Now, am I doing it because of like self-preservation or like a growth of some kind? Because obviously I can't talk about the either the works that much, can't go into great details. Um, or is it like a growth because I did technically get fired once for talking too much shit about a place of employment? So, uh, yeah. So when I hold back, it's not because like I'm trying to hide anything. It's just like I just want to get in trouble, I guess.
Talking, there's a 6 minute clip after Danielle's. No, somewhere there's an extra couple of minutes behind one of the episodes of the kids. one of the things that Pinky had asked me is, or that we kind of brought up, is what if all the kids ask me questions? You know, like 1 month they come up with questions and they ask me, and then kind of let them conduct the the episode, and then I would answer. Um, as we were kind of brainstorming it, Pinky was like, "Well, how honest would you be?" And for the most part, I'm confident that I'd be pretty open to uh, most of whatever questions I think they would come up with. But it got me thinking, right? Because it sounds like super like cagey to be like weird double talk, right? Because like for like, and I think that's where I was overthinking it a little bit because I have a tendency to like overreact to it. Is like obviously some of the work stuff. I don't say where I work. I try to be as vague as I can about the different things going on at the jobs because um God forbid like any of my bosses hear the episodes and then like they're like, "Oh, Ben does this." Like the phone thing is probably like if any of them were like, "Okay, we haven't recorded that Ben watches TV." Um, let's write them up. So some of it is like some of the holdback is on that part. But um on the mind pocket I mentioned I got fired from a job. So years ago. Uh I had to have been like 19 and I was a punk ass. Like I was so cocky. I was working at my bowling alley and I ran that place. Like I was so good at that place. And then I went to a different bowling alley and I didn't like the way that they ran their stuff. Like consistent with what they should have been doing, but like they didn't go above and beyond like I would have done. And I just like started like super cocky, like total shithead to these guys. Find out that the manager at that location used to be the old vice president of like corporate, calls mine, and they're like, "Ben, what are you doing talking shit, going somewhere else?" Um, so yeah, I got fired for that. So I think part of it is uh, I don't want to say anything too specific about the work stuff, but I think I'm confident that um, obviously as long as it's appropriate within the vision of Whimsy with the Z, I think I'd be pretty open with it. I did leave the caveat that says that I would modify dates, locations, and people. Right? Like if we did that episode, now that I'm thinking about, we'll title it "Definitely Maybe" with Ben, like Whimsy with the Z, because it's like Ryan Reynolds, right? That movie, he just he tells three stories about the three different women, and he modifies certain aspects of it. But yeah, I was thinking about it for a minute of like, do you guys think when I hold back, it's because like I'm just, I don't know. Again, that's total overthinking. I don't think anybody's like, oh, well, Ben never said what he did to this person buying this widget. Um, I'm confident that we understand that if I do get a little cagey about it, it's for the privacies of of whoever I'm talking about, right? Uh, yeah, yeah, I have a tendency to do that a lot. Um, I'm currently doing it now with one of the upcoming mind pockets, and I'm trying to like calm myself down. But I'll bring that up again when I get in there.
Okay, so like I know how to like mail something. Like they have the flat rate envelopes and boxes. I've mailed stuff out to places, went to like a UPS, and they wait and scan it. I get that, but it is no longer easy on how much to mail stuff out for. So we got the Patreon gifts. I got to mail a couple of them out. But I don't know how much the postage is on any of this stuff, and I can't find anything online that says um, what it is because I'm trying to like early early observations or research. Looks like I'm going to take a huge bath on these on this because like postage is not like cheap anymore. Like I don't know. Um, I don't know. I think other grandma. I think you said you knew somebody who has a stamps.com account. You should let me know because I might offer uh, to hire them to help shipping some stuff out.
You could go to the post office and buy like a flat rate box or envelope, and they're like $7 or $12, whatever you can fit in it. It ships for the flat rate. So, for example, the next month, right, I'm going to be mailing out Patreon gifts. So, I take said gift and I throw it in an envelope or a box, right? In theory, because I send them out every other month, you spend $20, right? So I'm gonna let you guys behind the scenes on some of this stuff, right? So for $20, right, I want to make sure you get a value for that $20, right? So that semi-exclusive merch. So of that $10 of those $20, like I lose like $3.50 to like fees from Patreon. So of the 20, I'm down to like we'll call it 17. And then I have to like buy the merch. And then I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm at 17 bucks. Um, I guess I can spend like $9 and you know, but then like the shipping comes in and I'm looking at it and like if I go to the post office, like don't use UPS anymore. Like that's a huge scam. But like if I take it like an envelope to the post office, like I'm looking at like I don't. I'm still looking into it. I still have like a month before I have to mail anything out. But what was interesting is like now it's like $6 to mail this thing out. So of like the 20 between fees, I'm at 17. Buy then all the packing material, and then postage, it comes up to like $23. Uh, so like uh, I don't know. I gotta figure it out. There are a couple of things like you can do, like stamps.com. Um, I looked into them because they advertise like 90% off postage. But what they do is you have to pay like a subscription fee for it. So like $20 gets me access to the discount postage, right? So like it'll get to a point when I'm mailing out like 20, 30, 50 of these things, right? To you guys. And what will happen is like then that would make sense because I'm only spending $20 on shipping and then like the postage is like $2 maybe instead of 7. Um, it's weird. Like I'm good with numbers, and I can like it's not. I'm not overwhelmed with it, right? But like I'm so like creative on finding out what kind of merch to have made and trying to keep things within a price point that I have in my head. But until I get that first month out and to actually see how all the steps work, it's gonna get weird. It's gonna look weird. Um, but yeah, like like the administrative side of things I don't like. I don't like it at all. I want to just be creative. I want to record for 7 hours at a time, edit, post stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But everybody will get your stuff. Like don't like it's just again, these are mind pockets. I'm just these are random thoughts that I have going on in my head of like I need a better understanding of postage is basically what I'm trying to get at.
New idea that I had. I don't think I said it last week, but I was going to start watching I have this idea of just like rewatching first seasons of television, um, and kind of just doing like a quick retrospective on does it hold up and or compelling enough to like want to keep watching all of it. Uh, I rewatched season one of Orange is the New Black. Yeah, that show holds up, man. That was a like it was a good show. Definitely season one. Getting ready to start season two. I don't know. So I'm enjoying it. So I don't remember what the last season was, but anyway, um, Orange is the New Black season one is a whimsy recommend.
For the last couple of years with like Liam, because like we watch a lot of stuff, Liam and I, and we like finding new stuff, right? He found Train to Busan, I found Train to Busan, um, and a couple of all these other series is that I like that I find. I've made a very conscious effort in the last like probably 3 years, 2 years. I think I did it a lot for a little while now. I don't like going back and rewatching stuff. Um, you have X number of hours of free time, and during that free time, I want to experience and see new and different things. But sometimes, like, I just don't know what I want to watch, or there's like I've Mondays, like I'm like blowing through most of the Emmy nominated stuff. So then I get in this place where I'm like, I'd like to listen to something, so I'll go back and listen to something that I've already watched. Um, so it's kind of weird, like, because I went back and watched all 8 seasons of Dexter. So that took like I could have found 8 seasons of something else that I've never seen before that I could have experienced, and I think that's so it like I get weird about rewatching stuff, but in that weird like I'm watching Orphan Black Echoes, like new episodes come out weekly. Kingstown comes out weekly, so like every once in a while, like I watch those as they come out, and then I'm like, what do I watch on Mondays and Tuesdays? So I'm like, maybe I'll go back and just start rewatching like the first season of everything, and then I can add that to the Monday show, right? I don't know what bit we would call it. Um, I was thinking, I'm like, because I went, because I've rewatched more in the last like 2.5 months than I have before. Um, but I like the idea of rewatching them so that I can at least speak semi-intelligently. Like Mom never watched Dexter in its original run, but because I was able to rewatch it, I was able to kind of get Mom hip to the idea of Dexter. But yeah, a random idea that I might have for a Monday uh, on the what's a pocket watch, and let me know what you guys think. Would you guys like to see or hear season one recommendations? And basically, I'd be just trying to figure out like one, does it hold up? Two, is it good enough to keep you engaged for season two? For example, Mayor of Kingstown, super slow season one. Um, 10 episodes, like it really only needed seven. So like that one doesn't rate very high on the rewatch aspect of it. But season two was amazing. So it's kind of like along those lines of I'm going to rewatch season one, knowing where it goes, and then try to present it to be like it's worth watching the first season. Because I think part of the problem is there's so much content out there, um, where you're just like I don't know what else to watch, and a lot of us end up rewatching stuff. Like how many of you guys rewatched The Office, Friends? Mom rewatches Yellowstone. Sometimes on a loop when new episodes come out. Um, like we all do it. But I would be curious to go back and rewatch some of these awesome shows that you may or may not have ever seen, like BoJack. BoJack Horseman is probably my very favorite top one TV series of all time. I think BoJack Horseman was one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. But season one was a little bit rough. Like the first 6 episodes, garbage. The last 6 episodes found its footing. So it'd be kind of like one of those things where I would kind of just discuss, like, don't watch it, or please make it through the first 6 episodes, and then because it gets better. But um, yeah, it's an idea that I was having.
All right, so I might have somebody willing to help out with the social media stuff, like a social media person slash like whimsy assistant. But maybe I'm overthinking it. But now that we have like some Patreon money coming in, and then like I can offset the income from that with the expenses. But like I've been audited once, like 10 years ago, and I don't want to have to do it again. So if I pay somebody, do I have to track that stuff? Like, yeah, how do I track that? Because like the last thing I need to be like IRS is being like, I need to see payroll records. I don't even know how to do payroll. Like I try to Google it. This stuff is complicated, man. So I don't know. I don't know. Like if this gets big enough to the point where I'm like, I'll just start like hiring like one or two people and I pay them. Like in theory, I need to track that money out, right? I don't know. This is no longer fun. The recording stuff is fun. Even the creating stuff is fun with like the socials and the shorts. Man, the business side of stuff sucks. Like I like creating new merch. Like I got some new stuff coming in. Love that. But the idea of like I have to track and keep like records of all the stuff I'm spending, ugh, this is dumb. So now I got to hire somebody to do all my finances.
It's weird, right? Like part of it seems like if someone's going to do social media, so like the one lady a couple of months ago, right, that I found on the neighbor app, I would just I was paying her $1 for descriptions. Like I would send her the short, and then she would write the description for me. And I was paying her like $1 a piece. In theory, now that there's Patreon money coming in, right? Um, Somewhere like in theory, I'm gonna start earning money on the YouTube stuff, right? We've almost hit the thresholds where I can start receiving money from YouTube. So that's all money. That's all money coming in, right? So I have to track all of those, the in money, right? And then they're obviously going to tax me on all that in money, and then to help offset that in money, I can use like advertising, logo design. Like I can use those expenses against the incoming money. But then, like, it gets weird. Is what if somebody asks if like because I don't want like the idea is not to cheat the whole thing, right? Is if I did find somebody to be uh, like a semi uh, assistant, right? Someone to track inventory, order stuff, mail stuff, um, and just keep track of like all the fees and stuff, right? In theory, if I pay that person, I need to report that I pay that person. So what I don't know is how do I report that? Because if I report that I paid somebody to do something, what if the IRS comes after that person? Like I can't do it all under the table, right? Because like at some point they're going to track, like they can track, like I don't know. But what I don't want to happen is like Joanne is working all the spreadsheets and the some of the administrative stuff, and I pay her $100 a month or whatever $100 a month. I need to somehow track that I paid somebody, right? And then she needs to report that she made that money, right? And I don't know how or what any of that. Like, I'm having fun with like this is all really fun for me. But the idea of Whimsy Studios, right, is that one day the Patreon will continue to grow, right? So we got that coming in. And as Whimsy Studios, we're going to offer like a service of saying, hey, you want to start a podcast for a very small fee, we will record, edit, and post all of your podcasts, right? So like JJ, he wants to do his. So I'm like, all right, JJ, it's going to cost you $10 a month of your allowance for me to post all of your stuff, right? So somewhere I have to track that I took his $10. But then if I paid somebody to like work that, I have to like it's so weird. I don't know. I did not. One, I don't think they even taught me that in school. Um, it is interesting. It's something I'm looking into. Like I'm looking up and I'm researching it, right? Because I want to make sure we're doing everything on the up and up for the most part, right? Um, Sarah comes back, you know, and I want to, compensate her for uh, the little whims that like that's a service that I'm paying for. I need to track that, and then does she have to then report that she took that money? So I don't know. It gets weird. I gotta call my tax lady, ask a couple of questions. If anybody knows though, like uh, who wants to, hang out, chat with me, help organize some shit, um, because Whimsy Studios is going. We're like I said, we got all these shows. JJ's has a show. He's getting there. But as like we keep building this thing, like we're going to have more people involved. Under what are we doing under? Just do it all under the table. But the only reason why I don't want to do everything under the table is because I make $800 in Patreon for the year. I want to be able to use the payroll to offset the in money, right? So like they're gonna tax me on the Patreon money, but then I have then I have no expenses. It looks um like that's the only part that's freaking like not freaking me out, but like that I'm trying to find the happy medium on. Like the $30 I sent Joanne from the neighbor app, like she's not gonna report that. I'm not gonna report that. I probably will now since it's recorded, so the IRS is gonna be like, well, Ben, you did it. But somewhere at some point, it's going to be run like a business of Whimsy Studios. And I just don't know how any of that works. Um, okay. Under a certain threshold, it doesn't have to be reported, but that's relatively low threshold. Consultants consult a CPA. What is CPA? um, and they make software to help you easily track these small business expenses. So I did reach out to one. There's a couple, right? I think it was like $40 a month. What? But yes, yeah. So I can get the software and I can get that stuff. The thresholds are a little bit like way low. I think you still have to report it. I just don't think like it's weird because like when I had a gambling problem, I have to report certain payouts, but because it didn't hit that threshold, I don't have to pay taxes on it. But you still have to report it. Like the whole thing is like really weird, and which is so funny. I can't believe it. Oh man. Oh, I just realized every we got 10 episodes of Whimsy Z's, and every one of those kids said something about taxes, and now I'm currently freaking out about taxes. Oh, it does exist, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, I just realized that because I blew them off like taxes aren't even that big of a thing, but now they're like getting to the point where um, I'm not there yet, but I just want to be prepared for whenever Whimsy Studios takes off and that I have everything in place. And it sucks. And then here's the weirdest thing too, right? Okay, here's one of the other things I was freaking out about is if I had somebody come in. So Nikki comes in and says, "I'm willing to do uh, the number stuff, right? The inventory, money in, money out, and mailing shit out, right?" And I want to be like, oh, I lost my thought. Hold on. So I give Nikki money for that, right? And because we're a business, right? Like now, like I so Nikki comes over and hangs out, right? And now I have to make her fill out like a 1044 or something, and then I don't know. I don't know. I had a different thought and I lost it halfway through it, but I don't remember. I know where I was going with it, but yeah, it's weird because I like last thing I need is to be like, hey Ben, you don't have all the proper forms. We're gonna hit you with all these fees and stuff. Uh, but yeah, taxes are a thing, and I feel bad that I brushed the kids off on it. All right, that's all I got for that one.
All right. Got confirmed date for the 26th for the next like guest interview. This one's gonna be an interesting one. I don't know. Like I'm doing mad research right now on this thing. Um, technically, this person is a Grammy award-winning vocalist, 2022. Third, philanthropist. Oh man, I don't know how to say that word. Philanthropy. Oh, I gotta say that word before I get them on. Um, yeah, so it should be interesting. So, look forward to you guys seeing that one.
I don't know if you guys heard that, but you did hear it correctly. The Wednesday after the 26th, Chasing the Whimsy will have an interview with a Grammy Award winning vocalist from 2022. Uh, super exciting. So this all came from the Steve publicist guy, right? Like I'm like it's interesting. I'm getting like some like interesting people. Nobody you would know. I don't think anybody would know who she is. But as I research uh, this young lady, I find she does a lot. Phil, I need someone needs to give me a different word for philanthropist. God, I hate that word. I've been saying it all week, and I was doing good until someone's looking at me. So now I'm going to have this interview, and I'm like, "Hey, tell me about your philanthropy, PP." Uh, philonap. Oh, man. I can't say that word. But yeah, super interesting. Got the confirmed date, Monday 26th. I will be having another interview, so we will have another um, random guest with Ben, similar to the Greg Allen Martin. Uh, what's fun about these, and I think you can hear it in the Greg Allen Martin episode. My conducting of an interview and like my prep work is significantly better than it was year one. Like that's just fact. Year one, Ben struggled a little bit, but like that's normal, right? Because I was still right. What's fun now is the potential to start getting different types of philanthropy. Yes, philanthropy. Philanthropist. Phil and okay. Um, God, like I can't embarrass myself. Is there another word for them? Um, Charity work? Like I don't want to call it charity work because it's more than that. But what is interesting and what I'm finding as the evolution of Whimsy and of just Ben is researching these guests, right? Like I'm going for the most part pretty deep dive. I think for the Greg one, I think I had I had some I did get the one like ish feedback was the intro was a little bit long, but I like a long intro. Personally, I took it from Kevin Smith. Like shoot me, like deal. But I like to put up front in the first 3 minutes of the episode that I've researched the person and kind of give uh, them props, and then it lets the person I'm interviewing know like, hey, I've researched you. I like Ming Chen's uh, episode 37 part 2, like his intro was super great. But what's super fun is I like the growth of Ben right now is um I'm one like I, I just can't believe that I have two publicists that I can email on the reg and be like, hey, do you have anybody I could interview next week? And then they'll be like, maybe I got one for you. Um, Grammy Award winner, we got Greg, who just had a season of television come out. Like, it's interesting. Um, I like researching these people because I like finding, and I go deep dive. Like, I'm like borderline like stalker level, right? Because what I've mentioned in the, I don't know if I've mentioned it anywhere in the last year and a half. I tell it to Liam all the time. I hate real basic interviews where they like like the interviewer asks like the same question like they've heard 100 times. I will ask similar questions, but I always like to have find like that one or two uh questions that kind of just a little bit more obscure. Um like Greg Allen Martin was funny because I told him I watched Crooked Towers, and he was like, "Oh, you're the one person." I'd like that idea that I can like sneak in like something a little bit obscure, uh, so that way they know I researched them. I guess I don't know, um, but yeah, this is a lot of fun for me. Uh, it's interesting, and I think what's fun about these new interviews coming in is taking their body of work and then highlighting what they do and then bringing it back to whimsy. Uh, It's like I've never talked to anybody about interviewing people, and I don't think I've read anything more than just like interview questions. But is it a thing where like as a journalist that they challenge themselves to find like the harder, like not necessarily harder hitting questions? I know that there are obviously like there are some that do that, but like rando nobody YouTube channel, like do they normally get these guests and just ask the same basic questions? So I'm having a blast researching this guest coming up. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. Um, and here's where break this all the way back to earlier. Knowing this person's past, and I know this is super big. And you're gonna have to deal with it. I'm sorry. You'll make sense in 2 weeks when you hear the episode. Um, is it is relevant to Whimsy and the direction I want to take the interview to. But where I started to quasi overthink it is because I want to make sure that the question is asked in a sensitive way. I don't want to be like all shitty about it, or like feel like I'm attacking them or trapping them. So we'll figure that out. Um, you know what? Real quick, hold on. Where's my mouse? I don't know if you guys will even notice that, but I like. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Oh my gosh. Saturdays, guys. This is the best of the week because I've been up since yesterday. Next Saturday. Oh, yeah, never mind. But yeah, interviews are fantastic. Um, I'm excited for this next one. I think this next one is going to, because it's different. Um, like her journey, um, from where she grew up to where she's at and what she's doing now, more outside of like my bubble, right? Uh, Greg, like I can totally grasp football player, scholarship, DA's office, acting. Like I can follow that, right? He's very relatable, very nice guy. This next person is like a fascinating life. Um, so it's kind of it'd be fun for me is to take all parts of her life and fit it nicely into a 30-40 minute interview. I'm loving it. I'm having a blast. Um, the business, the administrative stuff will come. Somewhere I'll figure out how to make sure to get this thing started on time. Like that will happen one day. But man, these interviews are a blast. I'm loving it. I'm having a fun, and I'm excited to see who else we get. I don't know who else I don't know who all they represent, but it's gonna be fun to see with the success of this one. I think this one is gonna be the one that keeps uh, the publicists coming back to me, and it'll be fun. It'll be interesting. But I printed out a bunch of stuff. I got a bunch of notes. I'm highlighting stuff. It's it kind of goes back to Mondays for the rabbit hole, right? Like what's in my pocket. I could not. I would not like in high school. I put zero work into high school. I didn't do anything. Like I barely skated by. If you talk to Rhiannon's going to tell you a slightly different story about how I graduated. But man, I don't know what it is. I'm having a blast looking all this stuff up. Like it's a lot. um, I don't know. It's gonna be fun. All right, I think that's all I got. So let's go ahead and get. We got one more commercial, some Patreon stuff, and we'll get you guys out of here. Sorry, I kind of been rambling a little bit today.
Go check out Chasing the Whimsy, the podcast, available today on your favorite podcast platforms. Chasing the Whimsy, where a 40-year-old father and his 2 kids take a whimsical journey of fun stories and educating each other about their respective generation. Generation X squares off with Generation Z to try to connect and find an understanding between generations 30 plus years apart. They'll journey through the past and track their journey as they find out who they'll grow up to be. Again, that's Chasing the Whimsy, available today on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube as well, and you can also find the show and learn more about the hosts at chasingthewhimsy.com. Chasing the Whimsy, ChasingTheWhimsy, Chasing the Whimsy, the podcast. Many episodes up for you to listen to already. Go stream, download, and subscribe today. You can also connect and follow on Twitter at Chase the Whimsy and on Instagram and TikTok at Chasing the Whimsy.
If anybody is listening and you are interested in doing some voiceover work for me, let me know, because I would like to record something and put it in the front of the podcast episodes. Still right now we have the 4 Patreons: Andy, Nikki family, Megan family, Joyce Ann. We do have more Patreon people coming. I did send out a couple of texts this week. So I think Jay Sarch is ready to. So hopefully this number is going to go, like I said, by the end of the month. I'm thinking we can get this thing doubled to 10, like 8 or 10. That's the goal. We got 2 weeks. Anybody listening, patreon.com/chasing the whimsy. $4 tier helps out, supports. $10 tier gets you a little bit of merch. Anything you guys can do to help is fantastic. It's great, because we're looking to make Whimsy bigger and do more stuff with it. I guess this this week's Mind Pocket is basically like Ben needs to hire someone to do some fucking paperwork, and that's what the Patreon will help do. It's also going to help Liam with whatever he wants to do next. Um, I have a couple ideas I want to do for JJ Nikki, so that will kind of help with those things. But it's all going to go towards Whimsy. Anything you guys can do to help is great. I love it. If you can't, I understand money's tight these days. Like, subscribe, comment on any of the socials, any of the podcasts, um, any support. If we can't do the Patreon, show some love, support, leave some comments, hit thumbs ups, tell friends and family, and uh, let's see if we can get this number, the Patreon number, up a little bit, and then we're just gonna have some fun with this. But the voiceover, like, how fun would it be, Nikki and JJ, right? If, like, they recorded like a 20 or a 30-second commercial, right? Where um, JJ's like, "Hey, mom, have you heard about this?" And she's like, "What?" "Patreon," whatever, right? So they do a little role play. 100%. Like, I'll put that shit in the beginning of all the podcast episodes. I mentioned it last week. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with it. The Patreon numbers, it's a little stale right now because I only advertise it on the live streams. There's no commercials so far right now on any of the podcasts that we do, and I'm going to start recording something in the front or the middle of the episodes or the back. So like there will be some Patreon ads, and some cross promotion. Um, Whimsy, Chasing the Whimsy, we'll start cross promoting Whimsy Z, Family Tree, JJ, whenever he comes back, and then all the other ones will kind of just cross promote each other. So that way, whatever show you listen to, you'll at least hear about some of the other ones. Um, but yes, anybody interested in doing any voiceover work, let me know, because I think it would be interesting. Um, I'll I'll type up a script. We can StreamYard. We record it. I'll cut it. Or if you guys want to do a skit, I don't know. I don't know what kids are doing these days. Like if the girls were like the twins, right? Alexis Riley, were like, hey, we made a horror movie. Let's do a weird commercial for one of the shows just because like I don't know why they would, but say they did. I'll put that shit in the front too. But yeah, I think it'd be interesting. I'm gonna try and do yeah. I gotta get better at it because technically the Family Tree one, I technically do a voiceover opening, and I think I need to record it because I sound very monotone all the way through it. So I'm learning. We're learning. We're having a good time. That's it for Mind Pockets. Weird episode. I felt like I rambled a bunch. I don't know how long I've been recording because I hit the button. There were some technical issues. We got through it, guys. I appreciate you guys all hanging out. It was a fun one. It was a great week. It really was. Sad Dad, 2 weeks in a row. He's not here. No Sad Dad, 2 weeks in a row. Um, I have no idea what Monday's episode is going to look like. We got Liam, so he's going to come back in. He's got his Whimsy Z coming out next Friday. We haven't even recorded it yet. Um, Oddly enough, I'm in a in a much better place than I was weeks ago. Um, and I think it's just because I'm excited for Chasing the Whimsy Studios, Whimsy with the Z, all the stuff. Looking at all the merch is fantastic. There's some really cool stuff coming out. Um, I did run into a problem where uh, I want bigger gifts. Like I'm looking at like socks and sweatshirts and hats and cups. Um, but I got to keep things a little bit small right now for right now. Tell them Steve Dave has like what 6 different tiers. We're not there yet, but keeping things within that kind of that price point that I'm looking at. There's some really cool stuff coming. We got the stuff that Nikki and I were working on the last 2 months. We got so there's a lot of really cool stuff coming out, and I ordered I think two of this new item, and I'm super excited for it. I hope it really looks good because if it does, that's definitely going to come out soon. Um, but yeah, man, we're having a blast. I'm having a blast. Um, Work sucks. I'm not thinking as creatively consistently throughout the week, but when I do have time, I'm researching our next guest coming up on the 26th. It's not the 26th. We're recording on the 26th. What day is her episode to come out? Hold on. I got to get calculator. Calendar. The 28th. The new episode coming out on the 28th. I'm super excited, wildly nervous about it. Um, Mainly because I don't want to mispronounce philanthropy or pissed. It's gonna be fun. I like it. I like where Whimsy's going. We're going. We may or may not have already have locked down the website or the domain name for Whimsy Studios. So now I'm looking at ideas for logos. It's gonna be fun. We're having a blast. Great time. I have no idea what Monday's show looks like. Yeah, I got nothing. But I'll figure it out. That's what we do. That's all I got for you guys. I've rambled enough. It's a very rambly episode. That's it. You guys have a good night. Thanks for hanging out, Nikki. Thanks for hanging out in the chats and giving me the pronunciation of some hard words. And yeah, have JJ call me, find out where his podcast is. Is he still recording? Because I know people are going to be interested in what he's been up to. Plus, his show is fantastic. I even stole from his show, so JJ needs to know. Chasing the Whimsy, stealing from him. So that's it, guys. Have a good night. Um, yeah, there'll probably be 3 a.m. Episodes tonight because all is good right now. So you have a good night. We'll see you guys on Monday. If you have not listened to episode 68, go to Spotify, go to Apple, go to YouTube. The reinvention of Greg Allen Martin. Fantastic episode. Leave comments because um, I think it was a good episode. It's probably, um, like I said, definitely one of the best of the year so far. Megan's was actually super good on Monday. Grandma's were good. Like this year is amazing already, guys. Like that's what's amazing. I love it. There's not a bad episode this year so far. Ming Chen, 2 episodes of Grandma, and Megan, Greg Allen Martin. Like it's gonna be amazing this year, guys. We're having fun. I just realized it. We are, man, we're taking off. All right, for reals. You guys have a good night. I'm gonna hit the button now. Whimsy.